hate it when I get my Schwartz twisted.
What? I said, hot shot.
Program! Talk hard with Pops! The guardian of the void, Lady Mist! Mad Squatch! The wrench of wrenches, Chris Persia! The Lady Arwen Avalon! Josh from Project Storytime! Roll Tide, Keely, Roll Tide! Psychodorf 9! The Mad Dr. Adega Outlaw! Asajj Maloney! Mariella Neward! The Mad Mark the Infinitely Tired! Mad's Mama Bear! The man, the myth, the legend, Ironcaster! The Clown Prince of Crime! The Jester of Sin! DJ Ronnie G! Skull and Tuck and Roll with Snowdub! Da Balina! What a way to wake the neighbors Monday through Friday. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. On this Thirsty Thursday, we have the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Ironcaster. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
You keep talking like that. I'm making a big head. Oh, holy crap. That intro is so powerful. Like, these just appeared. I don't know how that happened. Like, I don't know how you do it, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, we're going to talk about B-movie Schlock this morning. Well, B-movies and then Schlock. So, get ready. Darth Arlene with $5 super chat says, prepare the pyres and light the fires. It's time, Valhalla. Skull! Damn straight, Darth Arlena. And this one is just for you, Skull!
Long live the fighters!
Snowdub says, oh snap, Ironcaster is our newest member of the Cotton Connection. I did not know that.
Yeah, I've been dabbling a little bit with the puppetry and
nice.
Joining it up a little bit. It's
nice.
It's been a lot of fun, especially with Halloween on. So it was like there was the new kind of hurdle of, okay, get used to the puppet. Now I have to come up with the Halloween costume.
Have you gotten to make a Humi sacrifice yet? A Kali Ma?
Not a sacrifice yet.
Okay. Wait for the Kali Ma. Eventually Snow's going to get to the Kali Ma. and there will be a Humi sacrifice. That's what Mary Ellen Newworth here is talking about. Oh, nice. You will be sacrificed. Only the Humis. So as long as he comes on it as a puppet, he should be okay. Arwen Avalon says, I'll take Schlock over Rings of Power any day. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's it's a question of ultimately like, is the movie fun? Is the show fun? Is it insulting my time? And is it insulting my time? Is it insulting my intelligence? And as long as as long as you can be fun, you can maybe insult the intelligence a little bit. But you have to ultimately be able to sell people on a concept. Like I have to the suspension of disbelief. I have to be able to appreciate this idea that yes, a giant snot ball is going to devour everything
in the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like the Blob. No, I know. I totally get that. I'm a huge. I love Puppet Master. So
Yes.
The Puppet Master, Full Moon Entertainment, pretty much anything that came out of Full Moon Entertainment in the late '80s, mid to late '80s and the '90s, I immediately was like, oh, I want that movie. I've got to see that movie. I've got to rent that movie. I can't tell you how many times me and my friends went down and we'd get all the Puppet Master movies and watch them over the course of like one night.
The funny thing is, like you could have just saved a lot of time by only renting like one or two of those, because half those were just recycling the old footage from the previous movies.
Okay, I don't know what happened to my mic there. No, I absolutely agree, especially like the Bodega Bay shots where you've got the hotel on the hill. All that was reused multiple times. They just changed the shader on the film, so they'd put a different shader into where it looked a little different and just reused the same shot over and over.
Now it's daytime. Now it's night.
Yep.
Wait, I can do that too.
Daytime, nighttime. Daytime, nighttime.
Which was your favorite of the puppets?
Oh, Blade. That was easy peasy. Gesture would probably be a close second, with the Gunslinger a third. I love the way, because a lot of them don't make noise, but Blade always kind of like it was the breathing, right? So he'd be like Jester would kind of laugh every once in a while. You get that, and then with the Gunslinger with 6 guns, he'd laugh. Yeah. So everything about the Puppet Master series, just probably why I like hanging out with Snowdub and all of them. Because puppets, killer puppets. I want to see killer puppets. Snow, you got to put that on your agenda, dude. We need sacrifices. Humi sacrifices. We need the puppets rallying and taking out Humis for fun. Yeah, it sounds more of like a El Perro thing. I don't know if that'd work or not. We need something. I don't know, all the Puppet Master films. Shocker, huh? They came out with a trunk. They came out with this thing called Too Long's Trunk, and I got that. I got all the Blu-rays signed by that dude. I forget what his name is. And that came with some of the puppets in the trunk. But that was a big thing. I think I got that for my birthday last year. But yeah, it's Too Long's Trunk.
That it is a pretty box set.
Yes, it's a really nice box set. A little smaller than I thought it would be, but all in all, really good quality. It's wood, it's not plastic, so I'll take that any day.
Here, I actually can pull up a reference real quick.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, and the little action figures going there. Yep. It's one hell of a box set.
Yep, I think I'm similarly, like, those three are my favorites. Though I think I had a slight preference for like Gunslinger or Jester over Blade. So I think I might just reverse the order, but yeah, it's basically the same.
Tunneler was always cool, and you see the strongman Pinhead. Pinhead's there, so it's just. I mean, a lot of the puppets are really cool. Some of them are only in one movie. The Third Reich one that what did they call him? Torch. He's only in one movie. I wish he was in more movies. He was pretty cool.
Yeah, he was he's become so memorable that a lot of people think he was like always part of the main cast, but he's like only in a movie.
Yeah, just that one. I think it's two. It's two. He's in Puppet Master 2, which was a weird movie and ended really strangely with them like leaving the Bodega Bay Inn. Too Long's return. He's in a puppet. It's weird. It's really weird. 2 was a weird movie, and then they acted like 2 never existed. And they went back to Germany and did like a prequel and then 2 sequels after that. And those worked. I liked them. I really liked them. I liked it when the puppets were fighting demons and all that, but I also like them when they're killing defenseless idiots too.
Oh yeah.
Is that like a prerequisite for you when you watch B horror? Because it is for me. I want to see dumb people doing dumb shit and then getting knifed or sacrificed or whatever.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, I think ultimately you gotta boil down to you have to sell me on a good concept, or you have to have a terrible pun for a name to sell people. Like, Sharknado. You've got to get me with like the poster has to do a lot of the big selling. You've got to be able to sell me on the idea that your movie is going to have these things if I don't see a trailer.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Where do you go to? What's your main source of B movies and schlock these days? Because I know we talked about this on a little bit at the end of Talk Hard on Tuesday, on over on Pops' channel. But what is your source? What is your go to?
Well, honestly, a lot of the older schlock I can just find straight on YouTube. I don't even have to really go much anywhere. Some of the stuff is like out there. Like, I don't know if it's just a matter of the studios are almost embarrassed they put these things out, so they're just gonna quietly not try to claim they own Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Oh yeah. If y'all haven't seen that, if y'all never heard of that, oh my God, Loki, what's Hell Comes to Frogtown? Rowdy Piper, a 24 virgins. Yeah, you want to see Hell Comes to Frogtown. A Joker with a 5-month member chat who's a warrior of Midgar says, Hail Valhalla, raise a glass and skull. Skull to you, my friend. And Keely Chow, who's been a member for 4 months and is a warrior of Asgard, says Mexican Iron Man will defeat El Perro. And June Wong, $5 super chat, says, I really like the Space Pirates movie with a knockoff Snake Plissken. Bad CG and reused Starship Troopers props. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Space Pirates movie. Reuse Starship Troopers props.
Well, the problem is there's like probably 50 movies that fit those descriptions. Because I mean, those Starship Troopers, the Starship Troopers armor was like was passed around Hollywood so much that there's probably about 24 movies that use that armor. I mean, heck, it wound up on Power Rangers at one point.
Yeah, we later used in Power Rangers. Space Marines, 1990. No, I don't know. It might be Space Marines, led by Captain Gray, must stop their evil plans. Space Pirates, led by diabolical Colonel Fraser, take over a cargo ship. So, Power Rangers. Let's see. Holy shit. There's a bunch of this that happens. Firefly and Power Rangers. There was a hat from the Musketeer using Pirates of the Caribbean. Boss outfit from the Empire Strike Back was seen in the Doctor Who episode. Nice.
Huh. And then they used one of the spacesuits from Doctor Who on Star Wars. Like Bosk was using one of the suits.
Thank you, June Wong, for that $5 super chat, brother. Space Marine sounds right. Nice.
Because I mean, you also got something like Future War. You've got basically half the episodes on that Mystery Science Theater 3000 did.
Mark says old Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers footage was used in some really bad B movies. They also used some of the same stuff in both series. Stuff that was left over from Battlestar Galactica was used in Buck Rogers.
Ooh, Project Cambion just brought up a great movie.
Robot Jocks, yeah, I've got the
Yes.
Blu-ray anniversary of that. I couldn't believe that when I saw that. I was like, I've got to buy that. Crash and burn, Commander. Yeah, crash and burn.
Why did I not realize that was on Blu-ray? This should be in my collection.
Yes. This should be every B movie lover should have Robot Jocks on Blu-ray in their collection. I just happened across it at the movie store I used to go to in Springfield, in Missouri. And I was there and I saw it on the corner of the thing. I was like, that can't be real. That's got to be like and I was like, no, it's really real.
It exists.
We used the clip of Tex Conway from Robot Jocks in our comic book roundtable opening because we've got clobbering times on, and Tex Conway during the first big fight says, we lost the advantage, boy. It's clobbering time. So we got to use clobbering time. It's clobbering time. Him putting on his cowboy hat. So yeah, Robot Jocks, which was preceded with was it Robot Wars, and that movie sucked. I was so pissed about that. I was like, Robot Wars. I was like, oh my god, it's the sequel to Robot Jocks. No, it's some stupid ass movie that no one cared about. Robot Jocks was a classic though. God, it was such a classic. Stop motion animation, ladies and gentlemen. Stop motion on the robots with Achilles. I kill you. I want to drink your blood. God, I could quote half that freaking. Pop says YouTube and Tubi provide a massive library of content for B-movie and schlock fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So is that what you subscribe to? Is Tubi?
Oh well. What's nice is I don't have to subscribe to Tubi. I can use it for free, and that's kind of one of the. I think ultimately that's kind of what's fueling me to get into all the B movies so often is because they're just so readily available that you can basically stumble over about 5 terrible shark movies, and before you take a step.
Oh yeah, before you take your first step into it, you've got horrible shark movies like Shark Side of the Moon, where they can breathe in outer space. Dean Krantz says, howdy y'all. I like the topic today, but I will say this. Till they throw dirt in my face, I'm still waiting for a good Starship Troopers adaptation. Paul Borehaven can burn in hell. It wasn't exactly what it should have been. I don't know. I still have a soft spot for Starship Troopers.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. It's they literally threw the book out and they just went and made a dumb action movie
with characters that were gender swapped. You want to talk about gender swapping characters back in the day?
Yep.
Who was it? It was the girl, the red-haired girl. God, I can't remember her name for the life of me. The one that followed him to boot camp. That was a dude in the book. So they had to have, this thing with him and Dizzy. Thank you, man, Squatch. Dizzy. Thank you. Dizzy was a dude in the book.
But
So,
I mean, to
that
the
pissed a
credit
lot
of the
people off.
movie, the change they didn't make an issue about the gender swap happening. It's a case where it's a change that didn't detract from from the film itself, and in a way, kind of helped to fuel the story of the movie itself. And I mean, to this day, people love Starship Troopers, so I think they did something right with that movie.
Man Squatch says Johnny Rico in the book is Latino. Well,
Yep.
he's from Buenos Aires. I would have expected him to be, what's his name in Wrath Khan? Ricardo Montalban. Welcome to Rio de Janeiro.
I'm from
to
Buenos Aires, and I say we nuke them all.
I am Ricardo Montalban, and I am from Buenos Aires, and I say, to the last I grapple with thee.
You'd be swallowed.
I could have seen that. You must not go to war, my son. You can even throw Ricardo in there as his father. You must wait and be patient. Revenge is a dish that is best served cold.
Rico!
Oh my God! No! Why can't we? They damage our photon control in the warp drive. Oh, we must. Oh my God! Rio is in Brazil. They speak Portuguese.
Oh, now I'm trying to work out more of this in my head. It's like, okay, Spock is gonna have to be Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh yeah. Go Cyrano. Go Bug Mom. What did you do? Oh, I just made him imagine that there's a grub crawling up my mother's leg. It would not be logical otherwise to assume, yeah, of course, okay, Spock. Yeah, just replace the cast of Starship Troopers with the original cast of Star Trek. You're going to have a great movie. But Ricardo Montalban has to either be Rico or he has to be Rico's dad, either one. You got to get Ricardo Montalban in there. He's not in enough stuff.
Oh God, then you could have the school teacher who winds up being their superior officer as the black captain that winds up under the mind control.
Project Cambrian, you know them bugs though. They can't eat just one. Nice. Project Cambrian, nice joke. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, that woke me up.
I wanted power suits. You get that in the third movie, but they're still not that cool. They're not cool enough. I wanted power suits too, and you didn't get them. And that second movie is pure trash. I was like, wait a minute, we're gonna get like 5 troopers and they have one gun. What the hell is going on here, man? And then they're like screwing everybody, and then they've got bugs in their head, and yeah, the animated stuff was better. Yes. And that's right too, though. You can't have enough Michael Ironside. You can't have a man when he came out as Ratchet. I was like, holy shit! Dun 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 dun. He's got that mechanical arm. Everyone fights, no one quits. Don't do your job, I'll shoot you myself. Do you get me? And I was like, yes, okay.
I've just met this man, but I would die for him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine the people that either were saved, like Rico and his students? It's like, yeah, you're going to war with this guy, and if he tells you, you go over there and you rip a bug to pieces with your bare hands, you're gonna go do it, or you're gonna die trying. That's just the way it is. Dean Krantz said, but Borhaven admitted that he never read the book and drew on World War II propaganda from Repstal.
Oh well, yeah, and it worked for it ultimately. It was, I think, the right. It was while we didn't get the best, we didn't get an adaptation per se. It was still like probably the best decision for the movie. It's
him and
ultimately
Clancy
become this-
Brown. Him and Clancy Brown are the best parts of the movie. Michael
Oh,
Ironside
yeah.
and Clancy Brown. Because Darth Arlenius is Michael Ironside. Why I love Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell. Absolutely. Darth Arlenius. And then Joker right after that. Don't forget the great Clancy Brown. Put your hand on that wall. What do you do? Why do I need a knife in a nuke fight, man? Put your hand on that wall. The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand. Medic! Oh, I loved it. I absolutely freaking loved it. It's Clancy Brown and Michael Ironside make that
I
movie.
did not realize it was Clancy Brown.
Yep. Happy Halloween, ladies. From Highlander. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my go-to, well, my two go-to roles for Clancy Brown, Lex Luthor, and Red Death from Venture Brothers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I will never, I will always remember him as the Kurgan from Highlander because that's the first thing I ever saw him. And I don't remember ever seeing such a sadistic villain before that. It's like, you know, you had villains, you had bad guys, you had black hats. There were bad people doing bad things. But then you get this like sadistic villain that enjoys everything he's doing. He just rebels in. It's like, I'm here to do all this and to laugh about it and enjoy it. And I don't care about your little peepees.
So I guess that it should bring up the question of, if we're talking B movies, I think Highlander is a good one to sort of weigh that knife's edge with. Like, is Highlander a B movie? Because the big ask of it with the immortals fighting with swords, trying to chop the heads off, there's a lot there to kind of put it on that edge of saying this, by all accounts, should be a B movie, but I think it's an A movie.
And Dean Krantz. Go ahead.
I think that, like, something about it just made it like work in the way that audiences just loved it, and to where it's kind of surpassed that B movie territory.
Dean Krantz says, you and I are going to have to sit down and talk cigars and the abortion that was Starship Troopers. I hated what they did to Dubois and Sergeant Zim. I don't know, man. I loved it. I love what Clancy Brown did. But I love Clancy Brown. So anytime I see Clancy Brown, I'm like, oh shit. I even played through that horrible ass game, Detroit City or whatever the hell it was. Detroit.
Become Human.
Oh, because it had Clancy Brown in it. And I was like, okay, Clancy Brown, drunk cop. You know, he's constantly insulting these androids. I'm like, dude, yes, I want to play this game. I suffered through that just to get more Clancy Brown. Because he is definitely an underrated actor. I want more Clancy Brown.
You didn't expect to be spending half the game screaming Shane?
Oh, God help me. Pop says B movies are usually defined as cheap and offer little to nothing to the artistry of film history. Highlander was too epic to be a B. Okay, let's talk difference. Horror sci-fi. Let's talk horror sci-fi here, because you've got B movie horror, which we've kind of touched on, Puppet Master, sci-fi. You said your favorite is sci-fi.
Yeah.
What is it about the sci-fi B movies that are just like, man, I love this? Because I love Troopers, or not Troopers, but Robot Jocks. That would be a sci-fi B movie. I love space movies. I love Godzilla movies. I love Godzilla and space movies. But there's something about that horror that keeps bringing me back, and maybe it's just because there's more Battle Beyond the Stars. I have the Blu-ray of in the living room. I watch that like at least once a year. It's another one of those once a year watches. The booby ship.
I gotta admit, I don't think I've seen that one yet. That's going up on the list now,
It's got
just from
yeah.
movie ship alone. I think though, ultimately, and of all the things that really hooks me on the B sci-fi stuff, it's the sets, the creative sets they put together. Where it's all like cardboard and like paper mache putting this together, or they'll have to take like 50,000 of those like styrofoam Big Mac packages, but they've like gone and hot glued them all to the walls to like give it like this really interesting atmosphere. That sci-fi, I feel, just lets sci-fi is a chance to really experiment and go kind of out there with those. Where you have the set that seems impractical, but the people live in it act like it's a lived-in set. Like, yes, I've been here all of my life. I know exactly what these blinking blue and green lights do.
Someone mentioned Plan 9 from Outer Space, Toxic Avenger,
Yep.
Barbarella. Project Cambrian says Highlander became a cult classic when it found its audience in VHS rentals and television releases. You talk about like super gluing stuff to the wall. They did that in Aliens.
Oh yeah.
They went into, basically it was like this closed down TV factory, and they found all of this stuff. And when they go into the colony, there are these sections of walls that have like this bubble that it almost looks like a box bubble, a bubble coming out of the wall. Those are all the backs of TV sets that never got finished. So they just took the plastic panel off the back, put them on the walls, spray painted that shit, and that's how they made these sections of the walls in the colony. There's all kinds of things they used to have to do when they didn't have green screen to constantly make walls and make it look real. They didn't have CGI. They didn't have any of the shit they have today. They had to scrounge. These are the original junkers. Garbage jumpers, garbage dumpers, all that shit. These are the guys that would jump into giant garbage bins and be like, "Oh, look what I found. We can use this." They were going through a closed down factory in England and found a shitload of back panels to TVs and were like, "Bring them all. Every single one of them. Every single one you can get, bring them, we'll use them." That's creativity. That is coming up with something. And I think that's what you were meaning, is this scrounger will use anything to make this movie attitude.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. There is, it all ties into sort of this, in a way, this passion for the craft. Like, yeah, it might not be as, say, high class art as, you know, something the major Hollywood studios like to think they put out, but they're passion projects ultimately. Someone's like, I have this idea for a movie that I think is going to work just based off a pun. I want to make, you know, Sharknado. And then, you know, you got throughout the creative process, someone's probably like had those moments of doubt. And they said, no, we're doing this. I believe in this. I believe in this so much that I am going to get past the realization that this is a terrible movie, that this is a terrible idea. Like, I want to make Feaster Bunny. Like that for example is just what is like my go-to like terrible movie idea that I want to make. I want to see about making one day. And it's just like, it started with just like sometimes one bad pun snowballs the whole movie. Like, what about pizza sharks? Oh jeez.
Sharkcaster. A YouTube man, a YouTube content creator is horribly mutated in a shark tank. What comes after is, I don't know. We'll do something.
He's
we'll
half man, half terrible
man,
shark
half
movie.
Shark. Half man, half shark, and he likes to go on YouTube and eat people. Yeah, you broadcast your kills. Yeah, that would be, yeah.
We can't stop him. The view counts are getting too high.
Oh, we got a bot. Hello, Mr. Bot. How are you today?
They like bad movies.
Holy shit. It's been a while since we had a bot. Or at least it's been a while since I've seen a bot. Okay, so go to B movies. Lists. We need lists.
I mean, I think first and foremost, my favorite one on the list was Hell Comes to Frogtown. That was just the easy one to go to. Just like I said, I've got a list here. I'm just kind of looking at to find a couple things from. I mean, at the same time, some of the worst B movies are so well known. Troll 2, everyone knows that.
God, Troll 2 is a horrible movie.
But there's the draw of the B movie. Like, how many people have gone out and now watched The Room or gone and watched like Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Oh yeah.
Like, just because they want those terrible quotes that you know the entire audience is going to groan at. They're a movie that you want to see with a crowd because there's that energy of the audience watching it with others.
Machini makes a point with this $5 super chat. He says, to be fair, B movies have better production value than the crap we have now. Look at Rings of Power and She-Hulk. Now, I would absolutely agree, Machini, and this one is just for you, brother. Skol!
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
I'm starting to lose my voice. Greg0450. Good morning, my friend. Good to see you here. Says Frankenhooker and Beverly Hills Vamp. I have not seen either one of those. I will have to check them out.
I saw the trailer for Frankenhooker. And yeah, it's pretty out there.
Psychodorm 9 says, dare I say Rocky Horror? Yeah, it's a B movie. It's B movie. You could say that. It's a popular B movie, but just because a B movie is popular doesn't mean it's not still a B movie. The Cube. 4, 9, 7, 8, 6, 2. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you find out later that he didn't get out. He just gets tortured by two techs after he escapes from the cube. He gets strung up and tortured by two techs that aren't going to let him out anyway. There is no way out of the cube. There is no way out of that box. So, yeah.
I think one of the other ones I go to just because it's so goofy. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh yeah.
How can you not want to see that? Just because the idea of alien clown monsters using clown tricks to turn people into soup. And then suck them up with a silly straw.
Just Another Red Shirt says, how about Tremors? I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd call that a B movie or not. I mean, I guess you could, but do you want to?
That's that problem though. It's that cusp of, is it a B movie or not?
Terminator, Project Cambrian brings up Terminator. Watch the making of it and you end up realizing just how close to a B movie that film is. When you watch the end of that movie, you can definitely tell that Cameron was trying to do something beyond the technology he had. The Terminator walking through the halls, the scenes of him chasing her. It's the walking bit where you see it like walking. That's the problem. When it's just a puppet and it's grabbing her and you see like its head and its arm, there's a whole different look to everything, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It's the walking bit at the end of the movie that pulls me out of the end of that movie. But that's it. But he was trying to do something. Cameron was trying to do something way beyond what people could do then. So, you gotta love him for that. Colonizer Jeebus with $2 super chat says Penta. the official drink of metrosexual Iron Man. Iron Man, if you're out there watching, this one is just for you. Skol! Wanna Fanta? Don't you wanna Fanta? Mexican Iron Man wants a Fanta, Fanta. Wanna Fanta? Don't you wanna Fanta? Metrosexual Iron Man wants a Fanta, 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 Fanta. Ah! The late great John Candy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay. Let's talk Bruce Campbell. We got to have at least like a whole section on Bruce Campbell. The king of B movies, Bubba Hotep. Is he the king of B movies?
Even like the B tier TV shows. Like one of my favorite roles with him is in this show. I am having a brain fart. Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Yes. So this was a show in the late 90s, early 2000s, starring Bruce Campbell.
Okay.
Where the year is like 1801, and Bruce Campbell is effectively this like secret agent for the United States government as like sort of that early Secret Service kind of undercover type, where he's going to this little island to try and stop the advance of Napoleon from conquering the world. So he's playing a secret agent, but then like the island has this legend of a this legend of a hero, basically a quasi Zorro figure that he goes undercover as. So it's Bruce Campbell as Zorro in the 1800s.
That's crazy.
It has like the greatest theme song ever.
Dean Krantz brings up Briscoe County Jr., Man with Screaming Brain, Moon Trap, I believe, is also some Transformer techno killer B movie with Bruce Campbell and the guy who plays Chekhov on Star Trek. I can't remember his name. The guy who plays Pavel. So it's him and Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell buys it like halfway through the movie. But he plays an interesting little pilot guy. So, yeah, Sagadorf 9. For the people who know Moontrap, you're like, oh my God, Moontrap. It was awesome. If you haven't seen Moontrap, yeah, check that out. Walter Koenig, thank you. Thank you, Mark the Infinitely Tired, and DJ Ronnie G and Chris Berger. Yeah, my brain's not working this morning. I don't know why I do a morning show if my brain doesn't work half the time and I can't think of names. It's the names.
Yeah, got to drink more coffee.
Dean Krantz says, was Bruce Campbell in Moontrap? I honestly forgot. Yeah, he was Walter Koenig's pilot. He was the pilot. Walter Koenig was a Michigan. More bots! Damn. Got to get rid of the bots this morning. This never happens. So weird. I don't know why they're paying attention. Probably because we've got B-movie schlock in there. That like B-movie schlock and titties go hand in hand.
Yeah, that. What do you think helps sell those movies?
Yeah,
or like, if the far out there concept isn't quite enough to get you in the door, how about some boobies?
How about some boobies? You know what? I would consider Jason X a B movie. It might have had a decent budget, but some of the effects were just that. Some of the kill effects were some of the absolute best. When he dips that bitch's face in liquid nitrogen, I was like, oh yeah. But obviously you've got other stuff. The hologram deck, or the holodeck though. When those girls come up and they're like, oh my God, do you want to smoke some pot and have premarital sex? And they just take off their shirts and Jason's like, whores. And then they're in the sleeping bag and beating the shit out of them in the sleeping bag. It's yeah, you gotta love it. Yeah, absolutely, you have to love it.
I'd say
slasher movie, B movie, B sci-fi movie.
What about Halloween 3 in that case? Since that was also like kind of like a so kind of far removed from it all that most audiences have turned their back on the film, but it has that core group of fans to it.
Someone came up with the bright idea of going, you know what? We're not going to do another movie about Michael Myers. We're going to act like this is a general horror weird series about other things too.
That
Yuck.
someone was John Carpenter.
Oh, yuck. No. 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 No, Carpenter.
He did well. You gotta remember, he didn't want to do Halloween 2 as a follow up with Michael Myers.
Sit Room says Excalibur is a B movie. Okay.
Oh, I got
Excalibur. You've never seen Excalibur?
No. It's I like I said, I have it on my Vudu. It's on the queue.
Okay, so this movie is so epic that I hadn't talked to this buddy of mine in like 10 years, right? So I hadn't heard from him in 10 years. I get this phone call and I'm like, hello? And he's like, dude, it's been forever. I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm sitting here watching Ready Player One. And I'm like, you called me because you're watching Ready Player One? And he goes, dude, Anam Nathrak Udvas Bethad. Don't yell. Yeah, he remembers this shit from like 30 years ago, from when Merlin does a spell in Excalibur. And it's Merlin's spell. And they do it in Ready Player One. And it was like, Jesus Christ, you call me after not talking to you for like 10 years. And you're talking about a spell that's in a movie that's now in another movie. And yeah. No, you got to see Excalibur. If you haven't, that's the the ultimate Knights of the Round Table King Arthur tale is Excalibur, and it's got some B movie-ness to it. There's some stuff, but you could see they were really trying for it not to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're talking about that, it's like the sword and sorcery fantasy movies, like the Sword and the Sorcerer.
Yes.
Yep. Give me one moment. I have a phone
Yeah,
call
no
coming
problem.
in.
No problem. What do you guys think, guys? We're going to be putting out a poll at the end of this stream. B movie horror, B movie sci-fi, both, or I hate B movies. So those are going to be your choices. We're going to do those after the show is over. We're going to put out a update for the poll. Yeah, I said poll. Yeah. Well, when you're talking B movie schlock, boobies, and yeah, you got to talk about a poll. So of course I said poll. We got to do a poll. These are going to be new. Be at the end of every show. Excalibur was sword and sorcery. Had to go disco. Yeah, that tried to go disco. There was some disco stuff in it, but you had Liam Neeson in it. You had some really great stars in Excalibur. No, we're going to do a poll, not a poll. Not like we're going to, no. Okay, so dancing poll, no, negative. A poll of what you like and what you enjoy. Positive. Pod Racing Palpatine.
So
what's at the top of your list? What do you keep coming back to?
Cheesy
what is your
special
go-to?
effects. Like I said, those cardboard sets.
It's gotta at least have a half interesting story. You gotta keep me entertained. Keep me entertained, and like Robot Jocks, I'll love you. I'll love you forever. I'll talk about you. I'll talk about you 30 years after I watched you. So,
I will be talking about Robot Jocks far longer than I'll be talking about Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, please, someone tell me that fat bearded bitch isn't in here. Someone mentioned Wendy. No, we're not talking about Wendy this morning. Yeah, I know Wendy rides a pole, but we don't need to talk about Wendy. God, now I'm like looking and making sure that bearded bitch isn't in here. Okay.
What about a the a terrible pun for the film name. You can look at it and you look at the title alone. You're like, I have so many assumptions I can make off this movie. It's like that. Like I was saying in our private chat the other day, I was so disappointed about that. Like Werewolves of the SS.
Yeah. Did you actually watch that? Was it any good?
I watched the trailer for it, and I figured I can at least use that to get a basis for how the movie is. And the thing is, you hear a title like Werewolves of the SS, and you already have a movie in your mind playing of what you're going to expect. I want to see a freaking werewolf in a Nazi uniform getting gunned down by some by some Allied soldiers. I want to see like fighting in the trenches and all this. And it's like, no, just like some medical experiment, and we're just kind of in a lab somewhere. We don't even see any hint of a werewolf.
No.
You guys have failed. You haven't even it's like there's a playbook for how you need to like market these things. You gotta put some boobs in the trailer, or you gotta hint at it. You gotta get me to say, I have to watch this.
If they can have werewolves in Buffy the freaking Vampire Slayer, they can do werewolves in a werewolf movie. I mean, I'm sorry, but we don't need CGI werewolves. We don't need, oh my God. Yeah, no. Go away. Go away. No, I'm not braiding your, go Bugs Ropium. He's into that shit. Not me.
That face is haunting.
I had to say her name 3 times. Fat bearded bitch, fat bearded bitch, fat bearded bitch. And she appears. Psychodorf 9 with $5 super chat says, I'd pay money to see Girl Genius as a movie. Okay. You know what? I'm amazed at how much money is out there that could be made off of IPs, and they just sit on it and they don't do shit.
And it's like a lot of these B movies have a shockingly like small budget where they squeeze every single drop of that out of it to make it work. I just came across this morning a movie called I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle.
A vampire motorcycle. So the motorcycle's a vampire?
Apparently. I'm like, I have to watch a trailer for this. I need to see how a vampire motorcycle works. Did Dracula like bite the gas tank?
Nope. So, I gotta mention a couple of things real quick. Number one, Elvira. I know she's not popular nowadays, but she was like a real eye opener for me as far as boobs and B movies. Boobs and B movies go hand in hand, right? Well, she's got boobs and she showed B movies. That was a big thing back in the day.
Also, she told cheesy jokes.
Oh yeah.
So she leaned into it. She took the premise of this idea of being this mistress of the dark and leaned into it. She didn't like take the piss out of the joke as she's going. She wasn't like, yeah, I know this is such a terrible idea that I don't want to, that I'm not really too terribly excited by. It's like, no, for like 40 years she has been Elvira. Yeah, putting aside any thoughts about today, I still have a soft spot for the character, for even the Elvira movie, for some of the like hosting bits she did.
Yeah, so that's why I said she's not popular nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the day, yeah, you know what? She was the shit. So, would you consider a movie like They Live to be B movie? I know, you've got all this Sam Raimi stuff out there, but a lot of what Carpenter did, he did with not a huge budget. It wasn't until later that they were like, okay, we'll throw money at you to make stuff. But even then, it wasn't a ton of money. They had to kind of figure out what they were doing, and he kind of revolutionized a lot of what would go on to be the like mainstream visual effects, practical effects. If it wasn't, I don't think if it wasn't for Sam Raimi and Carpenter, we wouldn't have a lot of the talent we had doing practical effects.
Oh no! I mean, you can even go further back with that and point to Ray Harryhausen. But I think with John Carpenter and a movie like They Live, these movies were, I think, were more widely accepted by audiences. So they rose above that tier of the B list, to where they basically became these quasi A-list movies.
No.
That are so wide, either that become so widely accepted and loved that they're kind of better than a B. They become better than a B movie, though they are B movie material.
I'd agree with that. Favorite B movie actors. I know mine are Vincent Price and oh god, the Jesus Christ, the guy who plays Ash Williams on
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, thank you. The brain's still not awake.
Actually,
Vincent Price and Bruce Campbell are my two top B movie actors.
You kind of stole mine. Both of them. They are my go-tos.
Vincent Price is not hard. You hear that voice and you're like, dude, that's, welcome, gentlemen. I'm the Invisible Man. And you're like, holy shit, it's Vincent Price.
The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo.
Who mentioned Species? Species is like a B movies. Yeah.
Those are great movies. They're movies that I want to like mine for for ideas for like RPGs, where like, oh, I'm gonna get around with some buddies for like a little one-off adventure, and it's like, yeah, you guys are fighting a giant praying mantis in the middle of like what is the equivalent of like some New Brunswick woods where you stumble upon and realize they have a whole nest of them that you have to like exterminate. It's like that's basically them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And what a name for a movie. They Live. They Live. I wonder if that had anything to do with Raimi in Army of Darkness. I live again. God, the practical effects, the stop motion, it's there's some cheese to it, There's some cheese, but these are all things you'll never forget. I will never forget walking into a Pizza Hut with my buddy and seeing the evil witch from Army of Darkness and leaning over as my friend is taking a drink from his Pepsi and going, "You will die!" And I'm just spewing fucking Pepsi all over the front of this Pizza Hut because he knew exactly what I was talking about and he knew exactly what I was saying. And I was like, holy shit. You never forget these things. And I would say B movies, a lot of the B movies and a lot of the stuff I've seen over the years, schlock, whatever you want to call it, are more memorable than the mainstream blockbuster whatevers. They are more memorable.
And also the fact is there is so much of these B movies out there that are already out there that are so widely available that you don't have to go and spend, the $15 for the movie ticket today. You can find a lot of these on YouTube.
Or Tubi.
Or Tubi. In fact, it's not just B movies on there. Like Deadpool's on Tubi right now.
Yeah, you can get some real good stuff. You can get some really, really good stuff. I use a different app, but that's just because I like to sail. I guess that's the best way to say it. I like to sail. So,
Yeah.
Sailor at heart. Tubi or not Tubi? I'm a not Tubi because I just go to my sailing site.
Well,
But I pay. So can it be considered a sailing site if you pay? I don't know. I pay like $80 every 2 years to yeah. So, but dude, that gets me everything. It gets me everything on Prime. It gets me everything on Netflix. It gets me everything on the other channels, HBO Max. So I don't know. It's yeah.
It's the path of least resistance.
Snowdub, hey she bitch, come get some.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Shop smart, shop S-Mart.
You got that?
That's right. Damn straight. Physical media for the win, says Vince Womack. Guys, thank you so much for being here for this Thirsty Thursday on Mornings of Mischief. Yes, Ironcaster, it's over that quick. It's like you blink and you miss it. Guys, there'll be a poll coming out on the community tab after this video is over. Please pop over there and check that out and let us know what your favorite B movies are. Horror, sci-fi, both, or to hell with sci-fi. I hate it. Or to hell with B movies. I hate them. So, guys, we're out. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here? The floor is all yours.
So, let's see. So tomorrow night I'll be on with 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser for our Friday night comic shop talk. And I think later today I might go stream for the first time Resident Evil. As much as Resident Evil is basically a B movie as a video adapted into a video game. And the thing is, I've never actually played it, so I think I'm going to break that.
Are you okay? So hold on. Time out. Are you playing? Okay, there's multiple questions we have to ask here. The original PS1 version, the director's cut PS1 version, the remake. What are you playing?
I believe it's going to be like the remaster from a couple of years ago. So it's still the first game. Okay,
yeah, pretty much. Yes, and then in fact it has even more of the game they wanted, which is one thing I will fight to the death over. If the original creators had to cut a huge chunk of their game out and they do the remaster and they add that stuff in, I'm completely okay with that. I will fight for that to the end of days because that was their original vision. Now, if they're like, oh my God, we have to replace this and this because, it's the times, they can kiss my ass. I'm done with it.
Well, and the reason I go with those original like PS1 era versions is because they're B movies.
Yeah, they are. They're B movies. You watch the original B-roll for Resident Evil, it's like funny. Chris Redfield, and it's a guy in like a cloth tunic, and he's holding up like a fake 9mm. Jill Valentine. Rebecca Chambers. Yeah, Albert Wesker, Resident Evil.
It's like that. I don't want to hear about any of this stuff past from Resident Evil 4 afterwards because it became an action survival movie. Action survival games. Yep. Don't care about them. It's not about shooting zombies anymore. They're now fungus monsters. No.
So I got an OG PlayStation. I got a PlayStation when it first came out.
Yep.
I was one of the only people that had a PlayStation that I knew. I was the only one that I knew for a while. And I toted that thing everywhere with me. First two games I had, Street Fighter, Alpha, and Resident Evil. Those were the first two games I picked up for my PlayStation. Was the original Resident Evil and this Black Label, because they didn't have Green Label and they didn't have any of that other shit yet, and Street Fighter Alpha. So I played the shit out of both. And I didn't have a memory card. I didn't have a damn memory card, so it was lethal takedown. You die in Resident Evil. That's it. It's over. Game over. There was no saving. We couldn't save. So what we would do is how long can you make it here? And usually it always ended with the snake. I think we got past the snake once and we got all the way to the shark tank and then died in the shark tank. But it wasn't until we got our memory card that we were able to get all the way through the game. Anyway, we've gone 5 minutes over because we're talking about Resident Evil video games. DJ Ronnie G with $2 super chat says this was fun. Thanks for the movie recommendations. Thank you for that super chat, DJ Ronnie G. You guys are absolutely the best. Take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend honor. We'll be back tomorrow with the weekend review with Dave Bob and guests. Take care, everybody. Thank you, Lady Mist. We love you. Bye, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.